Hey everyone, this is Victor from Cyborg for Life, and I want to welcome you to episode 157 of Limb Lengthening Live, where the patients interview the guests. And today we're doing another topic-based discussion, and it is on the public's opinion of limb lengthening, specifically cosmetic limb lengthening, because of the fact that it is it's a very controversial procedure, right? It can change your life. It's a transformative procedure, but it is definitely something to talk about. So what we're going to do today is pretty much like talk about the different topics from Reddit, maybe some YouTube comments, maybe Instagram and mainstream articles, and just see what the world thinks about this life-changing procedure. So, but before we do, I just want to kind of get you guys' reaction if you're watching. I know that we're just joining now, but what is the wildest thing that you've heard someone say about limb lengthening? Like, how did your friends or family react when you told them that you wanted to get this done or you were considering it? Put that in the chat. I want to know. This is a topic that somebody suggested to me, and I thought it was pretty interesting because, in consultations all the time, patients are always like so worried about what people would think about this, about them getting it done. So we're going to talk about that today. I went on the Reddits here, and there was one that I found like a really good thing, but it's people who are talking about different topics about like there were different reactions to limb lengthening. I wrote them down here. One, skepticism and criticism, right? They think it's dangerous. It's, you're lengthening in vain. It's unnecessary. It's unethical. Okay. Then you have people who have this empathy and the support. They're like, hey, look, if it helps someone, their confidence, then good for them. And then it's going to have people who, basically are curious about the procedure. It's like, how does it work? Is it really safe? Like, what's the long-term ramifications? And then it's the social stigma about cosmetic limb lengthening. I mean, people who are doing this are insecure and desperate. And that's what I was saying earlier. I think that's the most common public opinion about limb lengthening right now. And then you have people
That's
with...
pretty stupid, and that's pretty stupid opinion.
You think that's pretty stupid?
Yeah, I can explain when you'll give me a chance, like later. It's fine. I'm listening to you right now.
Yeah.
I will explain my point of view why it's so stupid, like, and give lots of examples.
Absolutely. I want to get into it all because this is like a very multifaceted topic to talk about. But then there's also patient satisfaction, right? Hey, look, it comes from the patients. Like, it changed my life. It was worth all the pain and the cost. And that's what I hear from the patients themselves. Like, it's just completely worth it. I should have done it sooner. And then finally, you get the concern. It's like, it's too risky, too expensive, and it's a really long recovery. It's not worth it, right? So these are the different, I think, what is this, six different reactions that the public has, their opinion about limb lengthening. And again, cosmetic limb lengthening. Like, when you think about discrepancy and deformity, it's completely different. But I think that it's divided. And then you bring in the medical community, right? We have orthopedic surgeons. It's not just, all orthopedic surgeons offer this. No, like, if you talk to an orthopedic surgeon, they're going to say, that's ridiculous. We shouldn't be doing this. We shouldn't be offering this. And that's what Dr. Godelovich in Canada kind of faced recently because of some, I guess, jealous surgeons. Either they were jealous or they thought it was unethical and unnecessary. Then you have psychologists. They're like, oh, you just need some mental therapy. Like, why are you considering this? And a lot of patients used to have to get screened by psychologists and psychiatrists before they even went through with this. Another point that I have here is that, I said the medical professionals think that, it's completely ruining the reputation of orthopedics. But again, is that because of the procedure or people, surgeons and clinics that are butchering and, hurting patients and harming patients because of their poor overwatch? So I think these are some really big topics that we need to talk about and break down. But let's have you talk about what you think about this, Alex. So, we actually have my namesake. What's up, DJ Cyborg?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. What's up, brother?
Amazing. Yeah, I decided just to join in because I might have tibias coming up at the end of this year.
Really, dude, that's exciting, and that's so funny because I'm not gonna say it for Ali here, but if he wants to say it, that's crazy because DJ Cyborg, if you guys don't know, he is a femur lengthening patient. He did like close to 6 centimeters on his femurs, and he's fully recovered. Been well over a year now that he's been fully recovered. How are you doing?
Yeah, well over a year. In fact, June 8th will be 2 years actually.
Oh, really? Has it been that long?
Yeah, June 8th of 2023 was surgery. So June 8th, 2020, 2 years.
Wow, dude, time flies. I completely I lost track. That's incredible. Are you like because I know you were running in the subway like Jason Bourne, but like last year. So how are you doing now? Are you like completely back?
Oh yeah, everything's like I just can't tell a difference at all. Like that video of me running the subways, that was at like month 10, like
Yeah.
month 10 post surgery. So now we're like over a year since that video. Like everything, like flag football, playing with friends. Like I'm pretty much faster than all my friends because I was faster like pre-surgery too.
Yeah.
But now I'm faster than all of them still. So it's like I just don't feel a difference really with running, jumping, or anything.
Mhm.
The only thing is because I am getting my nails removed soon. They're not removed yet.
Mhm.
Sometimes like during tackle football, if I get hit on like the hips, I can kind of feel like where the proximal screws are, and that's kind of like the only thing.
Got it. Yeah, you still got the nails. So when are you going to get those removed if you go for tibia lengthening or?
I wanted to get it removed during tibia lengthening, but
Mhm.
it's looking like I won't be able to get tibia lengthening until end of this year. So I might be getting it removed in like the next few weeks actually at
Oh, wow.
HSS.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's
Mhm.
crazy awesome. Now, I think that I think who was it? Socrates who was on. He said that when you get the nails removed, you just feel even better, like more natural. I know that for a fact myself. So you can look forward to
Yeah,
the
everyone says that, but like I don't know because I feel like it's either like I like to think that I'm different, but I think most likely what it is like my body got so used to the feeling of there being nails that it feels like there isn't really nails there.
Right, right. No, absolutely. I got used to it as well, but when I got it removed, you go up like the extra 10%. You're like, oh, I unlocked this ability.
Yeah,
It's pretty cool. So,
yeah, can't wait for that.
but like, yeah, man, I'm so excited. So, what time of the end of the year that would you think that you get tibias done?
It's looking like probably towards after Thanksgiving. So like after Thanksgiving, but before Christmas period.
Okay, so like literally towards the end of the year. Got it. Okay,
Mhm.
that's awesome, man. I'm so happy for you because then you're gonna be like, you're 5 foot what, 10 now?
So 5'11" now, and I'm
5'11" now.
aiming to get two inches.
Okay, so you're gonna go to six.
About 6'1", yeah.
6 foot. That's crazy. That you'll be like Brett's height above Tempo, who was on last week. That's crazy. I just want to get to 5'11". So I'm serious. Consider this. You guys don't understand. Like I have a ridiculously long wingspan. So, but anyway, yeah. So let's see here. So DJ Cyborg, Alex, we're talking about real quick. We're gonna go through this topic. It's like the public's opinion about limb lengthening. And I kind of pulled up this Reddit here, and this is the one that I meant to find earlier. But they were actually showing Brian here he got his surgery. Obviously, but everybody knows that he went from 5'11" to 6'6". And this is the one that basically people were like, oh my gosh, is that safe? They're talking about wrecking the structural integrity of your shin bones. And then they talk about like proportions here. And then it's like, again, safety. And then where is it? Here it is. Insecurity. They're like talking about insecurity. It's just sad. Why would anybody want to lengthen at that height? This looks painful. And these are all of those different, I guess, reactions that we get from the public about this procedure. But I want to ask you two on the panel here. Have you heard anybody in your close network of friends, family, or whatever, or even like person or like, I guess, normal outside of this industry, what are their thoughts about limb lengthening? Because they would be considered the public.
You mean like what, my friends or?
Yeah, or like anybody. Like you were telling me about like some lady, like your dentist or something.
Yeah, like I don't consider honestly dentist. It's not dentist actually. Dentist. I think dentist like a little bit different. That's like a cleaning person. So
Okay, hygienist.
yeah, hygienist, and I'm not considering her, like a close friend. Yeah, we talk with her a lot, but what I realized, she's just like basically kind of stranger still.
That's what I mean. That's who I'm going after. I mean, like anybody who's not like an understanding parent or loved one or something like that, that would be considered a public society member, right?
Yeah.
Like we're talking about anybody outside of this industry, they count as the public opinion, and that's what I want to hear from you. So talk about that.
That's the
that is reality, and that is their opinion. But the funny thing is that on the internet, behind usernames and the digital, I guess, barrier, they can be themselves and they can say what they really think. And I think that's what's so powerful about this, because comments like the one that's here on the screen that we see, it's like people are just saying what they really feel. It's unfiltered, right? It's raw. And I think that, and I'm going to go to DJ Cyborg in a second. I think that one thing that I want to do, I'm going to share this tab here. I don't know if it's showing. Let me see. Is it showing? Yeah, it is. So this PhD, this Dr. Antonio Nino, whatever. Anyway, as you can see what he's saying that insecurities about height can be tied to deeper issues, such as long-standing negative core beliefs, basically stemming from childhood, basically an event from one's trajectory. And then we had that a couple weeks ago, we had that one guy on here. I forgot his name. Zach. Yeah, Zach was on, and he was talking about being bullied and all of these things that haunted him from his childhood. And this is what Dr. Antonio, I think it's Antonio, I can't say. Anyway, he's saying that body image shows that male height is closely linked to Western notions of masculinity. He said that there was a study of about 2,700 men found that 6 foot was ideal. It was taller than many of the subjects' actual height, and 11% also reported heightism, which led to a lower quality of life, or lower life quality. And one doctor reports that 85% of his patients are men. Women also feel the effects of height insecurity. So it's not just one gender bias. It's both genders that are affected by this. And that's why people are undergoing this procedure. So he is kind of just bringing a professional opinion into it. And then we have Dr. Middleton up here, who's an orthopedic surgeon, saying that she's understanding of it a little bit, which is really interesting, because most surgeons either bash it or accept it. But she's saying that it can help with your confidence, improve self-esteem, but you must know the risk. And this is true, no matter if you go to a good surgeon or not. It's just like, be understanding of the risks. So I think that's a really interesting professional opinion, because it comes from both an orthopedic, physical clinician, and one that works on the mind, which is I think he's a counseling psychologist. So I think that's really interesting, because they actually bring in a lot of data and research, and it shows, and it kind of confirms what you were just saying, Alex. And I think that's really interesting, right? Because you are doing it to feel better about yourself, and just like, you're doing it to kind of like just be normal and be who you want to be, right?
Just for self-improvement. I just want to be better.
Self-improvement, yeah. You want to be.
You can work out and improve your body, get muscles. That's the same. You get muscles, you get high. It's all about improvement all your life. Women, men, they want to look better.
Absolutely. And then when we look at like things like, like I said, this Reddit here, and then people say, it says, okay, somebody's trying to say, hey, apparently your bones will heal and fuse normally. He's using that one reaction of like the skepticism, and then, or I mean, not the skepticism, like he's saying like curiosity. It's like, you should be as good as before. And then somebody comments, oh, that's not what I've heard. There's a laundry list of bad things that can happen during surgery. How educated or informed are these people who are commenting? That's the thing that we want to talk. A lot of them are poorly informed, right? Because if you don't know about something, you're just speaking that public opinion. I call it the herd mentality. Like, oh, we've seen that butcher. The guy looks like he's walking crippled. You saw one video, or okay, maybe they saw more, and because there are a lot of. But then that one video leads to that negative connotation in their brain, and I think that's what brings this negative skepticism and all those other different reaction types. So yeah. So DJ Cyborg, I want to ask you. So like, what are your thoughts on this?
So yeah, this is interesting, because the thing I realized, like especially compared to like 2022 and 2023, when I was leading up to getting this done, like you don't really hear people talking about it in public back then, like 2023, 2022. Like I've never heard it, but these last like 12 months or so, like in fact, just 2 or 3 weeks ago, I was at Starbucks, and there was these group of guys. And they were kind of like joking around with one of their friends, and they told him something along the lines of, you need to get that leg extension surgery. That's what they called it.
No way.
Because so now it's like, it's different. I get the feeling that a lot more people know about it, because I'm hearing about it, just people like randomly conversating in public.
Wow.
People that I don't know, like they talk about it sometimes. So I feel like a lot of people know it, but they don't truly know what it is because it's always followed up by, no, I don't want to be crippled for the rest of my life. I don't want to, be this or be that.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like everyone just thinks that it's that surgery you get and you'll never walk normal again, you'll never run. So then because people think that, they just automatically think that's what it is. And a lot of it's probably they just don't know that much about it. They just hear about it, probably see some videos of, guys on TikTok and stuff, like just waddling like crazy, and then they think like, oh, that's how it is for forever once you get this done.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know if you've seen that in real life, but I feel like a lot more people know about it now compared to like 2022 and 2023.
I have. I mean, they won't come out and say, "Oh, cosmetic limb lengthening," but you're right. They'll say words like leg extension surgery, that surgery to get taller where you break your legs. They'll say things that these descriptions of it, and I have heard that a few times. Like, in fact, somebody, I think it was one of my dad's coworkers or like his workers or something like that, his business. They saw me in one of the like they saw Cyborg for Life or something. They said that was you in this article or something like that. So it's getting out there. It's becoming more popular. You're right, because of I think it was the 2023 boom that happened where a significant amount of media outlets covered this. And just think about it. Big media outlets like I think the most recent was LA Times. Then you have just go BuzzFeed, you go CBS, you go The Guardian, you go like I mean even Jack Harlow did a little skit on Saturday Night Live. I mean there's just a ton of people that were doing it. So I think it's interesting. I really do, but I think it does each person's reaction falls under one of those different, things. But I think it is kind of crazy. People are finding out about it, but they're keeping their opinion to themselves until they can be behind a keyword. Like I think Alex was saying, they're either going to be skeptical, supportive, which is what this community is all about. Curious, which is like, wait, are your legs ever going to be as strong as before? Can you kick a kicking bag or like can you kick a punching bag? Can you run and jump? Then you have the stigma, which is like people are saying, oh, you're going to be insecure. You're just desperate to be taller to get, something, all kinds of things like that. I mean, and then we have, this guy, Trimbo, I'm bringing back up his thing. It's like people were saying like, Trembly to walk straight. So, and then they were saying you're sick. So it's like, oh, sorry, I'm like liking his stuff. So yeah, it's with my business account.
All of him.
Yeah, but the point is, I gotta talk to this guy. I gotta bring him on for an interview. But I really think that this is an interesting topic because it's like as this, like DJ Cyborg just said, as this procedure, the popularity of it grows, how's the world going to receive it on a grander scale? It's like even John Mulaney on Netflix. I think Brian recently, I saw it on there on Netflix. He called in and did like a little talk show. It's on Netflix. It's like the John Mulaney's. I don't know. You could probably find it. It's on there, and he's like the episode about taller or like about being taller or height. And they have several comedians on this, and they're waiting for him to call in. And he does a really good job to kind of like defend himself and like explain why he got it done. But then it just goes to show that they are really joking. It's a laugh. People are becoming a freak show or a laughing stock. So I think the stigma's still around it. But anyway, that's just.
I think just with cosmetic surgery in general, like there will always be stigma around it. Like even something, for example, like women. Like I have girls I know, like when someone gets like her nose done or whatever, like to be, I guess it's like socially accepted that you have to support them and you have to tell them like, oh, you look so good and stuff. But then like in real life, I see where like the moment that girl turns around and like walks away to get something, then you have like three of her friends saying like, oh, she used to look horrible, like she only looks nice now because she got her nose done. And then when she gets back, it's like boom, they just change all over again. Like, oh, you look so good, like it looks so good, it looks amazing. I feel like it's just like one of those things, like even if this procedure gets popular and let's say like it gets more accepted, like maybe people just accept it because it's what is expected of them, but then like internally there will be people who don't accept it, but they have to act like they do in public.
Absolutely. That's a really good. I love what you just said. Everything you just said. It's people, and I think that's like the what's it called? The catch-22, or the pickle that people will get tied up in if they get this done, right? Like like people are going to judge you for being short or ridicule you for being short, and then when you get this, they judge you for getting it done, right? Like you kind of can't win. And it's like even the surgeons can't win. Look at this comment right here. It says right here, it says, this is sad. I feel bad for this guy. I'm also low-grade furious at certain trades of cosmetic surgeons. Procedures like this seem to clearly violate the Hippocratic Oath, which they don't, because if you know what you're doing, you do it safely, people can run and jump like DJ Cyborg. So it just goes to show you that it's the unknown. I think this industry still doesn't know enough about it and how it can be done safely, and they just negatively judge it. So that's kind of like why I wanted to have this topic of discussion. I appreciate Alex for sending it in. We had these interesting topics lately, but yeah, cyberbullying is a real thing. I mean, and I agree. I think that it does go back to like kind of what DJ Cyborg and what you're saying, Alex. It's like the popularity of this is making more people aware of it, and then there's talking behind people's backs or online. But when people are right there, it's like, hey, okay, you know, they try to, you know, hold it in. They try to front it essentially. But at the end of the day, I think that each person, and the reason why I want to bring up this topic is that as time goes on, I want you to pay attention when you hear somebody talk about limb lengthening for cosmetic limb lengthening. What type of reaction is somebody, you know, giving this procedure? Is it going to be the stigma, like you're insecure, you're desperate, you shouldn't do it, blah blah blah? The criticism, like it's dangerous, you know, like what's your life going to be like when you're hobbling when you're 60 or older? Are they supportive, which is pretty rare? Are they, especially family support? It's hard, you know, if you're trying to get this done. Are they concerned, like, you know, that's money that you're investing in, that you should invest in your face, like you just said, or like that should go towards a house or a car or something, like, you know, tactile, like, or like, are they, you know, like what category do they fall in? And then you got to think of it from the different perspectives, like, because everyone has a different perspective. Patients who get it done, they're usually pretty satisfied, or they're a little remorseful because of the fact that, or regretful because of the fact that they had a complication, or they're super happy because they're fully recovered. It's either or. And then you have people like the surgeons who are like kind of split amongst their medical peers, medical community peers. They either like blacklisted or they're completely accepted amongst. And then you have the people like myself, even, right? Like even when because I'm kind of like the spokesperson essentially, believe it or not, like I know, because I'm getting ready to kind of get back on Instagram, because I'm gonna start posting like my bodybuilding season and stuff like that. And I know, because I was like one of the top ranked guys for natural bodybuilding, I know that as I come back, people are gonna be like, oh, where were you? What were you up to? I was like, don't play that with me. Like, I know you know what I was up to. You could easily Google my name and find out what I've been doing for the last 5 years. So, you know, but they didn't want to say anything because it's a very uncomfortable topic to talk about, right? Like, this is a really weird thing. But I did that because I wanted to kind of give light to this procedure. And then you have people like family members of people who got it done. There's a perspective for everybody who's like kind of like either first person, second person, or third person related to this procedure. And what do family members, like the father of a son who got it done, is he supportive and like, hey, I understand? Like, I just talked to a guy from I think it was the UK or something like that, and he's like, his dad completely understood. He's like, I don't like the fact that you want to get this done, because I feel bad and sorry that you have to go through this to get taller and feel good about yourself, but I understand and I support you. That was amazing, right? But then some dads are like, I don't want to talk to you, I disown you, or like, I don't want to even think about this, right? Like, every person that you're going to kind of come across is going to have some sort of reaction or some sort of perspective when it comes to limb lengthening. I think that's why this is such an interesting topic, because it's such a controversial procedure. But anyway, some people joined here. We got J-Lo's on the show. What's up, man? J-Lo, I said that again. But anyway, I think that's pretty cool. So yeah, that's kind of all I wanted to talk about. That we can take some questions now and then call it a day. How you doing, J-Lo? He's not there. He might have to join again. All right, let me stop sharing this screen. So DJ Cyborg, for you guys who didn't hear earlier, might be doing his tibias towards the end of the year. He might be getting his nails out soon. He is one of the success stories. He is doing amazing. Alex here, who's almost there, is walking every day. He's getting a more normal walk every single day. And he's thinking about continuing to recover. And let's take some questions. So, okay, so we have this first question. I think it's difficult or not for possible to regain strength of lengthened bones as real bones. What's your opinion? Okay, so will your your new bone be as strong as your old bone? I think that's what you're trying to say. And the answer is yes, in time it will be. So you're saying the same thing. Hey, bro, check out Dr. Sarin. I think that's what you meant, not Dr. Sanin, like from Naruto. Indian limb lengthening surgeon claiming he has done over 1,000 surgeries. You can check it. I like that you're saying that because in my next video that I'm going to probably shoot this weekend, the topic is the risks of going to new, questionable, or inexperienced clinics, and he will definitely fall into one of those categories. But anyway, let's keep going here. Yeah, free speech, not some Ukrainian judo guy that bullies you to shut up. What did you say to him in the chat?
Who is that?
I don't know. Somebody from the chat is saying that about you.
Yeah, exactly. You see, well, I didn't even check.
I don't know. It's so funny that they're saying that. Then you have Infinite Keys is saying it'll never be accepted for men to do this. Do you really think that, or do you think that one day it'll be like a Brazilian butt lift or like a nose job or something like that? Like it's a little bit more acceptable.
I mean, I feel like it's not necessarily like a men versus woman thing. I feel like it's kind of like politics. No matter what, there will be people on both sides. And even stuff like nose jobs for women, like there's two sides. There's girls who absolutely despise it. They can't stand it when their friends get it, and then there's girls that are like okay with it. I feel like that's just how humans are. Like you can't really change how humans are.
I love that. I agree with you 100%. I do. He's saying that
that's what they meant. That's what they meant. It's basically people, man, like several hundred years ago, they didn't understand simple things. Like when they invented, who invented the lamp? Tesla or not? People thought it's like a miracle. It's a god or something, when they see any new stuff, and they don't understand this. I'm pretty sure in the 30, 50 years, it's going to be something like silicone in your breast, something like a hair transplant. The surgery is going to be like that.
Yep, I agree. I think it'll be something like that. I do. I think that it's due to jealousy. So VRAM is saying something pretty interesting here. He's saying it's like another cosmetic surgery. There's a period where you suffer from the procedure and you recover better, and then more than. So yeah, I agree. I agree that when you're a patient, that is, you go through with it, and I think that's the same thing. For this industry as a whole, this is in its infancy, really not infancy. I think it's in its toddler stage where it's suffering. It's got to get through that stigmatic stage, and then eventually it might flourish. Or if we have clinics that are continuously botching patients for money, then if their monetary gains mean more than safety, then we're going to have a backtrack. We're going to go back, and it's going to be the freak show. But if we have a gold standard, like we raise the standard of safety, I think we can be okay. More than 90% of people who undergo cosmetic procedures and recover well don't regret it. That's fair. Cyborg for Life is a great example that you can recover and participate in your sports. That's right. I did my tibia. If I did both, it'd be the same because, again, conservative amount, trained hard, recovered really well. Again, I've had multiple orthopedic procedures. I just bounced back from surgery. I was never worried about the procedure. I was worried about like just getting back to the stage. So recovery was a worry for me. But man, when I went through this, it was so unknown, and I started to get a little bit ballerina on my tibia. My surgeon scared me back into like action. I was like, okay, all right. She's like, no more bodybuilding if you get ballerina foot and an Aquinas contracture. I was like, all right. Started stretching like crazy. So That's a little bit of a tip for you, DJ Cyborg. Stretch your tibias. Cyborg Gal, is it a bad thing to use the bone saw? I heard Paley does not use it. Do any surgeons except Betts use it? Yeah, I don't know which surgeons use it and don't use it besides Betts. All I know is that it's not the typical standard. Can it be done? I'm sure. And can you recover? I'm sure, but like it's not what surgeons use typically. But we'll have to ask a surgeon about that. Okay, keep going through some of these. I'm getting my femurs done in 3 weeks. I've told everyone who has asked, and most have been happy for me. At this point, I don't care what people think. That's awesome. I'm very happy for you, Psych Man. Oh, I know who you are. That's awesome. That's really cool. All right, cool. Cool. J-Lo, what's going on? And what's my opinion on the Becker Betts Institute and the method analysis? So I don't like to really talk directly live about things like that, but yeah. All right. J-Lo, are you there? You might be having issues again. But anyway, that's kind of what I really wanted to do tonight, just to kind of talk about that a little bit. We kind of went through the Instagram, the Reddit's, a little article there. I couldn't really find any, like, I was trying to get the LA Times article up to talk about the comments below it, but it was kind of hard to pull up. Do you guys have any articles or something like that we could look at? But really, we kind of...
I remember one article, actually.
What is it called?
So, yeah, it's something like Dr. Dolevich. It's on Reddit.
Is it on her website?
No, it's on Reddit or somewhere. She said, I'm orthopedic surgeon who can do limb lengthening, something like that. And it was the same. People been just like kind of bullying, you know, like...
Really?
I don't remember.
Oh, I see it. I see it 2 years ago.
Oh,
okay.
I've seen it a long time ago, but I remember.
Hey! What?
What's that?
What was that?
J-Lo, maybe.
Yeah, I think that was J-Lo.
And then he's like, screw it, I'm out of here. And then, but then he disappeared. I don't see it anymore. But anyway. Yeah, I see the Reddit right here. I'm gonna try to share a screen. That says, I'm Dr. Marie Gudelovich. Let's look at that. Let's pull that up real quick, and then we'll end the show after we talk about that. Share screen. We'll do that last one. Okay, it's this one. Can you see it?
Yeah, I see it.
You see it? Okay, so let's read it at the top. She says, this is back when she did that Canadian documentary. I was actually featured in that. That was pretty cool. All right. So basically, she's saying who she is. She's an orthopedic that she does So basically, she's just plugging herself here. That's awesome. I don't know if it was her. It's probably her clinic because, you know. Then anyway, then people are saying that. Oh, somebody's asking about, can you repair other orthopedic? That's cool. She's getting some business there. But let's see.
Look at the Moggy man.
See what we see here, though? A lot of times when a surgeon says it to people, the people take their prestige as a surgeon a little bit more seriously, and they come at it with that curiosity and like, hey, can you also do this? They don't want to attack the surgeon because the surgeon is like a doctor and they have like this social status. But then if it's a patient and they post online about it, they get bashed like Latrimbo, you know. So it's like, but did she have any comments in here that were pretty rough?
Yeah, you just skipped it, Moggy man. He said experiment or something.
Where?
Well,
really? No, that's
no.
They're just saying like, what's it actually? They're just asking like, what's the maximum you could lengthen and stuff. They're just, that's not. See, I think if you see what I'm saying, like shows lengthening your site. See, they're just talking about their site. They're asking questions, right? They respect the surgeon, so you're not going to get that, you know, pitchforks and flame torches going after the surgeon as much. You might get it occasionally, like,
maybe. If you check, like I've seen some like not really good, but it's good that people like at least pay some respect, I would say.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing a lot of here. Like, how long is the recovery? See, these are all questions. People are doing that, and can you shorten legs? Yeah, these are fair, passive questions. They're not aggressive. I haven't seen it. Oh, let's see. Can you give an example of mainstream? So this person's coming at it a little aggressive. He says, "Do you require?" Not really, actually. See, so I haven't seen a bad question here. I mean, a bad comment here. So that's an interesting thing. So when the surgeon says it publicly, their social status kind of gives them a little bit of, I guess, body armor against the negative opinion of the public. But anyway, that's just that.
Yeah, and also Victor, something I think something that hasn't really been spoken about is I realized this whenever I was lengthening with like, believe it or not, there's
What's that?
anyone, like they don't tell anyone at all, and like because they're scared that people will, bash on them and stuff, so they don't tell their family, they don't tell friends or anything. And you don't hear of them because they don't tell anyone. That's why you don't hear of them. Like they don't have Discord diaries, they don't post anything on a limb lengthening forum or any of that. So that there are a lot of people out there that do this and they return to normal life and no one ever knows they got it done ever. Because they go to a good surgeon, they get it done well, they haven't told anyone, they went back whenever they're fully recovered and no one ever knows.
100%. And I completely respect that. I mean, I actually kind of, in a way, right now where the state of this industry is, kind of suggest that, right? Like maybe to tell like your family just to make sure like if you die, like they know where you are and stuff. But like you don't have to tell everybody, right? You don't even have to tell anybody. But like I think if you tell some people, like family, friends, like did you tell anybody, DJ Cyborg? Did you tell like your mom or dad or anything like that?
Yeah. I actually no one. Absolutely
You're
no
one of
one.
them. That's crazy.
Yeah, the only people that know is Dr. Burkholz,
That's awesome.
Dr. Reef, and Rosbrook, of course, because follow up X-rays and stuff in New York City.
Yeah.
You know about it, and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
like three patients I met there, and then the
Okay.
PTs, and that's it.
So it's like a need to know basis. I like that too. So, but I think that's the thing. It's like, does anybody really need to know, right? But I think that if they did, like if somebody did tell somebody, like, okay, now you have to realize where the state of the industry is, right? Because if you don't know where the state of affairs of this industry is, then you got to kind of roll with the punches because people might come a little aggressive because it's not quite out of that stigmatic stage. So that's why
you need to know judo, you know.
some Ukrainian judo, exactly. No, but I think that
judo is sambo.
sambo, that's what it's called.
Almost like a dance, but with O in the end.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, I think that's why we're going to have to, I think that's why this is such an interesting topic, and we're going to keep talking about different topics like this, but this is this kind of piggybacks off of like, would you tell somebody about the surgery? Now you're saying like what people think about the surgery, because it comes from different perspectives. The reason why you might not tell people is because of what they think. Right. So I think it's interesting. This is a multifaceted procedure. It's not just break your legs and get taller. There's a whole lot of psychological that goes into it. There's a whole lot of social perspective that goes into it. I think a college course could be taught on this. I really do. I mean, you could have the anatomy section of it. You could have the freaking psychology course on it. Like you could have like a whole curriculum about cosmetic limb lengthening. And I think it would be fantastic. It would really challenge people, right? You would have debates and stuff. So I think we're in a really unique industry. It's very powerful.
Can you imagine in 100 years this will become so affordable and kind of like way easier procedures, so people will do competition who will get more height?
No, I don't think. I mean, unless the human biology changes that much, or we get some sort of like AI nanomites that kind of do things, nanobots, or cyborg technology. But I think that human biology is going to prevent some craziness because people want to be normal. They want to have functional legs and run in subways like Jason Bourne. But anyway, real quick, let's answer some of these last few questions, then we'll call it a day. We're about to hit the hour mark. So I hope to schedule a consultation with you, just saving some money to do this. The decision has already been made. That's awesome, man. Yeah, I think that you got to kind of be strong on your decision to do this or not. That's why I think that this platform and, the communities like the Discord and the stuff that we created are so powerful, because it gives you a reason to choose to do this or not. It gives you education and information about it so you can be informed. You're not one of those clueless public opinion members of society that just judge people randomly online. So there's a lot of clinics where people get hurt. So no wonder. Yeah, that's a major reason for the stigma. Yes, absolutely. Victor, do you know the YouTube channel that I was supposed to show you last week was Latrin? But yeah. If you want to send his link, I can look at it real quick. But I kind of know his story right now. Part of it may be how you say it. I say it in a matter of a fact way that leaves no little room for opinion. Oh, interesting. Okay.
I would like to hear that.
I would love to hear that. Type that in the chat real quick if you can, Psych Man. I would love to hear what you said to the people that you've told and how. Because look, the human mind. I mean, people can be sold. You can do anything. You just got to know how to say it. VRAM saying, when I do, I won't tell. If they ask, I'll say that I had delayed bone. Okay, so he'll use a cover story. Okay.
That works. That works if you're young, because when I came back, people just said like, "Hey, you grew taller." Like everyone, friends,
Really?
family, everyone. Yeah, there's like, "You grew taller," or "Did you get taller?" Or some just remembered me as being this tall always whenever I
Wow.
just saw them like go. So if you're young, if you come back after your walk is absolutely perfect, like you can go up, downstairs, everything, people would just, like, for me at least, people just thought I grew.
That's crazy. And I think that if you're, especially if you're like younger, I think then, your late 20s or early 30s, it's like when it makes sense that you could still grow, even a delayed growth spurt, like into your early to mid 20s, which is rare, but it could happen. You can definitely play that cover story. I think you should, right?
Honestly, I don't think so, but you can definitely tell that people will believe.
People believe anything. I mean, they believe like, aren't you gonna be crippled the rest of your life? Like, no, like we run and jump. Like, I mean, DJ Cyborg, he's running and he can sprint. So Eamon saying, if I were to get it, I would only tell close people that I could trust at first. Okay. Yeah. And again, like I said, you don't have to tell anybody. It could be a need to know basis. Like, I do suggest you tell one family member if you need to, or somebody close. Like, somebody needs to know. Like, and you don't have to tell them what you're getting done. You can just tell them, like, just because you're getting a medical procedure, so that if something happened to you, like, at least, people know where you went. You don't want to be like, oh, he disappeared. Like, your family's worried, So,
I would say you need to tell only if you have to. I
need to know. Yeah.
Dentist, because it's important. I don't want to get infection. It's very serious for me. Same, I told my stepfather because I had to, and then I told my mother in a few months after I was already consolidating, and that's it. And it's just like few people who are in my building. I mean, the other patients basically.
Okay.
All the other people, they think it's something like a knee, surgery, or like, it's only if you have to. But of course, you don't need to tell everyone. Like, you go to the hairstylist and you don't need to tell him.
Absolutely. I know you can definitely tell who you want. And this is what Psych Man said. He says he told him limb lengthening. And then they said, how does that work? And I give them the facts, and that's it. If they sound excited, I talk more about it. That's interesting. So he keeps it very short, snappy, and to the point, very blunt. And I kind of did the same thing with my discrepancy, because I just got tired of explaining why, right? But I think that's the way to go about this if you did tell somebody, if you're being open about it. But I think they're going to have their own their own thoughts about that in their head. So but I think he just doesn't care. He doesn't care, and he's living with it. And he says, if they don't, that's the end of that, and we go on to another topic. Man, he's awesome. That's cool. All righty. I think Istanbul is amazing for holidaying, for food and history, and for views, but also like lengthening surgery. That's funny. Anyway, guys, this is a great episode. I like this. This is a fun topic. I like that. All right, cool. So again, if you guys don't know, if you were joining late, the news of the day is that he says, I'm also closer to 50. I'm too old to care. That's awesome. DJ Cyborg is going to probably be getting tibias done later this year. He said, like, towards the end of the year, like around November-ish. He might get his nails removed soon. So we're going to kind of maybe have him come on to talk about his nail removal and like how he feels. Because I want to extract all the information out of you patients so that patients can hear that. Because that's where the value comes of a platform like this. They can hear, oh, DJ Cyborg did 6 centimeters on his femurs. I'm thinking about 6 centimeters on my femurs. Now you can hear how he recovered. He's almost at his 2-year mark. Right? Surgeons say it all the time, that 2 years, you should be pretty much fully recovered. He was fully recovered before then, but anyway. Victor, I want to thank you for all your content. It's been, very important to me to learn and decide on this. See, that's exactly what I'm saying. And DJ Cyborg and Alex here and everybody else who ever joins these streams, they're just as important.
It looks like Zach is here too.
Yeah, Zach, I think he's having some connection issues. I don't see him.
I'm having problems.
I hear you now.
Yeah, we hear you now.
You can hear me, but I don't know what's going on.
That's okay. We'll have you on another one. We're about to hop off anyway, Zach. So
all right, yeah, I'm gonna leave. I'm sorry.
No, you don't have to be sorry. It's just we were about to close out the show in a second, but no, man, I want to thank Alex for this great topic. I had fun with it. I want to thank DJ Cyborg for coming on and sharing the updates. J-Lo for joining and bouncing, and Zach for going on. And thank you guys in the chat for participating and giving your input and your thoughts. I think that's really helpful. And then for Latrimba for providing content.
Actually, thank you for Latrimba for providing using his Instagram like examples.
Exactly. No, man, I'm not bashing the guy. He's probably pretty cool. We're probably gonna have him on for an interview to talk about what his plan is and how he's doing at some point. I just want to make sure he's okay. Look, any patient that gets this done, I want the best for them. I don't care where they go or anything like that. I don't want any patient to be harmed. I just want you to know that. I just want patients to get it done at weird clinics or like questionable clinics. I said weird clinics. To be careful how they recommend and suggest that to other patients, because we don't want a cycle of like turmoil where people just keep getting harmed and harmed. I'm trying to stop that. So if you make my job harder, like Hove said, it's like, don't increase my stress load. That'd be hard. So anyway, that's all we have for episode 157 of Limb Lengthening Live. And until next time, this is Victor from Cyborg for Life, signing out. See you guys next time. Peace.
Can't wait. See you guys.